Hey guys, how you doing? Well, I'm here today to give you a special update. I'm going to show you my entire Blu-ray collection. And just so it doesn't take like 15 hours to do this whole video, I'm going to go through all of them as quickly as I can. I do have plenty of DVDs, but I'm not going to review those. I'm just going to review the Blu-ray movies because if I reviewed Blu-ray and DVD movies, we'd be here all day and it would take me like 5 days to just edit all of this out. So I'm just going to go over Blu-rays. I'll just do like a quick little pass by so you guys can see the DVDs that I have. But I'm not going to show you all of them. I'm just going to show you the ones that I can find the easiest because I do have a lot of stuff. Okay, so the first movie on my list is going to be 300. I really enjoy this movie. Oh, let me take this off. I have it in a Steelbook edition. And I think it's a great action war film. I really enjoy this. And I really like how well it's stylized. It's directed by Zack Snyder, who later on directed Man of Steel, which I thought was just okay. But this movie's pretty awesome. I don't own 300 Rise of the Empire because it sucks. Alright, my next movie up is Act of Valor. I like this movie. I've only seen it twice, though. It's a fun little war movie that actually is pretty true. And my dad loves this movie, so that's why I own it. I have Alien 1, directed by Ridley Scott. I think it's a very good atmospheric claustrophobic thrill ride. I have Aliens, which is a great action movie with Sigourney Weaver, of course, and the Marines, Bill Paxton. Oh man, they're gonna kill us, man! I love that performance. I love Bill Paxton. It's awesome. And I actually own Alien 3 because, with all honesty, I kind of like this movie. I think it's underrated, and I think you guys should definitely check out the extended edition. The theatrical cut, I can understand, was pretty bad, but the extended edition actually adds a lot more action and a different ending, which is actually pretty nice. Alright, next up we have American Sniper, and this is a movie directed by Clint Eastwood and stars Bradley Cooper. I have a little story to tell you guys about this movie. American Sniper is actually the first R-rated movie I've ever seen in the theater. I've seen a lot of R-rated movies, but never in the theater. This is the first one I ever saw, and I saw it with my father. I've actually seen quite a lot of these movies with my father for the first time, but this movie is actually very special because I think it's actually a great movie, and I think it really has a lot of courageous moments. It has a few very gory moments, but I think Bradley Cooper really pulled this off, very convincing as Chris Kyle, and I think it was a very compelling story as well. Next up, I got Apollo 13. I think it's a very good space adventure film that is, yet again, another true story, and I think the performances here are really good. You got 3 incredible actors. We got Tom Hanks, Bill Paxton, Kevin Bacon. It also co-stars Ed Harris with hair, something that we clearly never see. Alright, next up we got Arthur Christmas. This movie I actually really enjoy. I saw it when it came out in 2011, so I was 12 years old, and I really enjoyed this movie. I was on the edge of my seat when I first saw it, and I still enjoy it to this day. I watch it, I think, the week before Christmas. And I think it's a very good movie, by the way. Christmas, only 4 months away. It's really close, guys. Alright, next up we have Marvel's best box office grossing film, The Avengers. And I know that everything about this movie's been said. People love it, absolutely love it. I will be the first to admit, kind of overrated in my opinion. I think it is a great movie, but I think that, in my opinion, I think it could have been better. But I think for the team aspect, it's a great movie. And as well as the sequel, I still think that movie has problems. I think they both have problems, but when it comes to the team aspect, they're great. Okay, I'm going to go through these real quickly. 1989's Batman. Batman Returns. Batman Begins. The Dark Knight. And The Dark Knight Rises. I do not have Batman Forever and Batman and Robin because I don't like them. And I'd rather die than watch Batman and Robin ever again. Say it once, say it twice. Third time's the charm. Beetlejuice. This is a movie that I actually love. I absolutely love it. It's very cheesy and very Tim Burton-y, but it's actually a really fun, entertaining comedy. I really enjoy it. It's a comedy horror, but I think it's really funny. And it stars Michael Keaton and his collaboration with Tim Burton right before Batman. You know, something cool about this movie, it's called Beetlejuice, and Michael Keaton is supposed to be the star of the movie. He's actually only in this movie for 17 minutes. And it's a 92-minute movie. Next up, we have another Tom Hanks movie that I really love, and I think most people enjoy this movie. Big. Of course, the piano scene is so incredible in this movie. I really enjoy it. I think this is one of Tom Hanks' best performances, And I recently had the pleasure of watching this movie last week, and even though I've seen it maybe 20, 25 times, the last time I saw this movie last week, and I thought of it very differently, with more like adult-themed eyes. And I realized that the movie is more deep and more emotional than I previously thought. Painful to live in fear, isn't it? That's what it is to be a slave. Blade Runner. A movie that I actually love with all my heart. It's actually one of my favorite movies of all time, but it's a very terrible movie in terms of what happens in it, but I think in terms of what they were shooting for, especially in the 80s, very, very, very intelligent. Harrison Ford's the man. I mean, he's awesome. And this movie, even though he absolutely hated the experience of working on it, I still think his performance was pretty good. Next up, we have The Blind Side, and I really enjoy this movie. Still one of the most captivating and emotional films I've ever seen. And Sandra Bullock in this movie has a really good performance, and the guy that plays Michael Oher is Quentin Aaron. That's the guy's name that plays Michael Oher. He's just awesome, and it's a very emotional film. Next, I have Blood Diamond, one of my favorite movies of all time, which I should definitely do a review for. I love this movie. It's incredible. It's so fascinating, and I love this movie so much. It stars Leo DiCaprio. I have a lot of Leo DiCaprio movies because I really like Leo DiCaprio, and that's just my opinion. It also has, what's his name? Jimin Honsu. I hope that's the right name. If I mispronounced it, that's my fault. I'm sorry about that. And that's also the guy that's in Guardians of the Galaxy. And, yeah, I love Jennifer Connelly. My favorite actress of all time. I love her so much. 2000 for this chunk of shit? The Blues Brothers. Now, there's actually a really cool story to how I saw this movie. I have a friend, and his name is Connor. And if you've watched my short films, namely the memory storage device and the gun, the guy in the basketball, he's the guy that's in it. He's very tall, and he's just awesome. He's one of my closest friends. He actually is from Chicago, where they filmed this movie, and it's one of his favorites, and he recommended me to see it. So I was like, okay, sure. And I watched it in the summer 2013, and I've loved it ever since. I think it is a fantastic film that's actually really funny, and the plot really doesn't matter in this movie. It's one of those movies where, even though the plot doesn't matter, it's still a very good movie on its own. Okay, so I have The Bourne Identity, and I have The Bourne Ultimatum on Blu-ray. I don't know why I don't have The Bourne Supremacy on Blu-ray. I think I have it on DVD. I just don't know why I didn't get it on Blu-ray, but I definitely will try and get it soon. But anyways, these two movies are very good, very powerful. Matt Damon is awesome in them. The Breakfast Club. And I can't believe this movie is actually turning 30. It's amazing. And this actually says 25th Anniversary Edition. I know you guys can't see that, but it's now 30 years old, and I still think this movie is amazing. It's basically just a simple plot about 5 kids who think they're different from each other, but they find out how similar they really are. Alright, next up we have Catch Me If You Can, and in my opinion, this is the most underrated Spielberg film ever made, and I think it is an excellent film. And once again, it's another Leonardo DiCaprio movie. I really, for some reason, love Leonardo DiCaprio so much. But it also stars Tom Hanks, which is also one of my favorites. And I just really think this is a very well-made film. And I don't think this movie gets the credit that it deserves. Alright, next up I have the first Captain America film. And at the point in the MCU, when I saw this movie, it came out on July 22nd, 2011, which was my birthday, and I went to go see it. And this was actually my favorite Marvel Cinematic Universe movie until the next one. But I think this is actually an excellent movie, and in my opinion, I think it's very underrated. Alright, next up, I got Captain America the Winter Soldier, which, in my opinion, is actually my favorite Marvel Cinematic Universe movie. I love this movie. I think it's fantastic. I saw the day it came out, and I will never forget that experience. One of the best theater experiences I've ever had. The scene where Captain America and the Winter Soldier have a street fist fight is one of the most intense action sequences I've ever seen. Next one up is another Tom Hanks vehicle, Captain Phillips. I think it has a great Tom Hanks performance once again, because I really love the guy. And this guy here really pulled it off in this movie. I thought he was very good. My next movie up is actually a very old movie, Charade. And I actually love this movie. I mean, I know when you look at this trailer, you're like, what the hell? How does this guy like this movie? This is actually a very well-made comedy, crime, mystery, you name it. And it's actually a very effective thriller. Oh, please excuse my friend. He's dead tired. Commando, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger. Oh man, this movie is so stupid, but it's so good. I love this movie. Next one up is Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. I do have Rise of the Planet of the Apes, which I will talk about later. This movie, the first time I saw it, I didn't like it. The second time I saw it, I didn't like it. And then the third time I saw it, I'm like, how did I not like it these first two times? And I bought the movie because it was only like $7.99 at Best Buy. I still think Rise of the Planet of the Apes is a better movie, but I think in terms of what this tried to do, I think it accomplished some things. You want to see his brain splattered all over the map, baby? Where's the president? Escape from New York. I already reviewed this movie, so you guys know what I think about this. Total 80s campy, cheesy, stupid film that's terrible, but it's excellent at the same time. The Expendables! I don't know why I own this movie. This movie absolutely sucks. I hate it. I don't know why I own it. Okay, I'm going to go through these really quickly. Fast and Furious 1. Too Fast, Too Furious. I actually like this movie. It's definitely in my top 5 guilty pleasure movies because it's just a terrible movie, but I just like it. And my God, Eva Mendes is just gorgeous in everything she's in. Fast 5, which I actually love this movie. I think it's actually one of the best action movies we've had within the past 5 years to a decade. I think this actually is a very good movie that I don't think is as stupid as people say it is. But, oh my God, that safe going through that town, Jesus Christ. Man, that thing just destroyed everything in sight, but it was amazing to watch. And Fast 6. I do not think this movie is as good as Fast 5. That being said, I did really enjoy this movie as well. I'll probably get Fast 7 when it comes out, even though that movie is just the stupidest piece of garbage on the face of the earth. The Fugitive. I love this movie as well. One of my all-time favorites. Harrison Ford, once again, is the man. Great movie. I really enjoy it. You find this man. You find this man. You don't get better than that. Next up, Ghostbusters. Classic 80s. Great film. Bill Murray. Harold Ramis, rest in peace, and Dan Aykroyd. Guardians of the Galaxy, I already reviewed this movie, but I think this is Marvel's most ambitious film to date, and I think it's actually their second best movie that they made, right behind Captain America the Winter Soldier. I really enjoyed this movie. I think it's excellent. I thought that the cast did a great job. Just everything in this movie worked. It looked like it wasn't going to work from the trailers, but when I watched the movie, everything worked. Alright, I have the first Hellboy movie, and to be completely honest, I actually like this movie more than Hellboy 2. I know! But this movie's pretty awesome. I actually really enjoy this movie. I think it's actually a lot of fun. Ron Perlman is Hellboy. Okay, I have all 3 Hobbit movies. And I think if I were to rate them, I would say Desolation of Smaug is the best. Then Unexpected Journey. Then Battle of the Five Armies. So 2, 1, 3. But I think these are actually pretty fun movies. They're definitely subpar to Lord of the Rings, but I mean, come on, Lord of the Rings. And surprisingly, I actually don't have Lord of the Rings on Blu-ray. I do have all of them on DVD, but I'm going to get the Blu-ray collection soon. I'm going to go to Best Buy this weekend, so I'm planning on getting those. Okay, I have Hunger Games Catching Fire, my favorite Hunger Games movie. And I actually really enjoy this movie. I think Jennifer Lawrence is amazing, and I think that everyone does a great job. I must really love Leo DiCaprio. Inception. One of my favorite films of all time. Christopher Nolan directed this movie, and Christopher Nolan, I'm a Christopher Nolan fanboy. I love his movies, and I just saw Interstellar a couple weeks ago, and I absolutely love that movie. This movie is actually really good, and I have a few more coming up soon by Christopher Nolan. But once again, this is another Leo DiCaprio film, and this won't be the last. I must really like Leo DiCaprio because I do have a lot of his movies. The rest of the cast did a great job. Tom Hardy, now being Mad Max. Joseph Gordon-Levitt, who I really like, Ellen Page as well. So, really good cast, roundabout, great direction, great writing. This is another guilty pleasure movie of mine, In Time. When I first saw this movie, I liked it kind of a little bit too much, because it's not really that great of a movie. I do think for what it was going for, it had a very interesting concept, just the way that they tried to do everything was a little bit too wacky. Now that's what I call a close encounter. Independence Day. This may shock the world, but Independence Day is actually one of my favorite films and action films of all time. I absolutely love this movie. I really can't get enough of it. I watch it every 4th of July, and I've seen this movie since I was actually 6 years old, so this was actually the very first action movie I ever saw, so it does have a special place in my heart. Jaws. Love this movie. Very, very suspenseful. Just an excellent film roundabout. Performances are fantastic. Some of the best non-special effects work ever. Just all practical. It's amazing. I love Jaws. Spielberg, you'll be loved forever. This was his original masterpiece. Another Spielberg movie, Jurassic Park, right in front of Jaws. It's actually pretty nice. Jurassic Park is a great movie. My brother, who is actually 32, he saw this movie when it came out, and I think to this day it's still his favorite movie of all time. Alright, next up we have The Last Samurai, quite possibly Tom Cruise's best performance in my opinion. Even though I haven't seen Collateral yet, and I know I should, because a lot of people tell me you guys see Collateral. The Last Samurai, I think, is a very good movie. It's a pretty long movie, but I think for what it did and what it showed with all the Japanese culture and religion and the 7 rules, I just think that this movie is very good, very impactful, and has a very emotional climax. Alright, next up, I have the Lethal Weapon Collection. I guess it hasn't been revoked. Oh man, I love the first 2 Lethal Weapon movies. I think they're great. The first one definitely is my favorite. 2 is actually pretty good. I don't think it's as good as the first one, but I think it's pretty good. 3 is okay, and 4 was fine, but I think the first 2 movies in this collection are very good. Plus, I actually got this collection for only $14.99. Can you believe that? Next up, I got another Spielberg movie for you, Lincoln. And I saw this movie when it came out, and when it actually came out, I was in 8th grade. And at the time, we were actually studying Lincoln, so it was actually a really good time to see this movie. And just for the realism of it, just for the grittiness of it, there's a lot of dialogue in this movie. If you don't like dialogue, you're going to be bored out of your mind. But I think this movie, for what it tried to show, was very impactful. Limitless, I think this is a very good Bradley Cooper film. And I actually like the guy. He's a pretty good actor, I think. And of course, it co-stars Robert De Niro, which is one of the best actors of all time. And I think it's actually a very entertaining movie and a very thought-provoking one. Alright, next up I have Looper. Very, very controversial movie. A lot of people like it, a lot of people hate it. It's one of those movies you either like it or you hate it, and I actually like it a lot. But I don't think the ending... I don't think it should have ended the way it ended. I don't want to spoil it for you guys, but I think the ending was a little bit too illogical, but if I sat around talking about it, it'd go into time paradoxes, and I'd be here forever. Next up, I got Man of Steel. I think it's good, but it's not excellent. I think the way the trailers promoted it, it was going to be like the next big thing that would just be the total game changer of any and everything. And I think people walked into it with those expectations, and they walked out kind of disappointed. I kind of walked out disappointed, but I actually had a lot of fun with this movie. But I think it does have some not so good moments. I'm not a big fan of the romance because it kind of feels a little bit forced. Okay, for some reason, I own 2 versions of The Matrix. I don't know why. But I believe that this one, Digibook Edition, was sent to me by a very close friend. And I don't want to mention his name because I haven't credited him, but I haven't seen him in a long time. But he knows I really enjoy this movie, so he gave it to me. Thank you. The Matrix is an excellent movie. And I do have The Matrix Reloaded, not The Matrix Revolutions, because I really don't like that one. I do like The Matrix, and I like The Matrix Reloaded probably just as much. Okay, next up we have Memento, another Christopher Nolan film. I love this guy. He's amazing. He is a visionary director, and this guy really knows how to write intricate stuff because, holy crap, this movie is so hard to follow, but it's such an amazing experience to just sit there and watch it, because you're amazed with every second of this movie. I know that there are like DVD versions of this movie that try and show it all within chronological order, but that's not the way to watch this movie. If you want to watch the movie for the full experience, you got to watch it this way on Blu-ray. Let's agree to disagree. Men in Black 3, which I think is actually my favorite in the trilogy, and it's the only one I own. Alright, next up, Spielberg again with Minority Report. And this may quite possibly be my favorite Steven Spielberg movie. I do own all the 4 Mission Impossible movies, and I have reviewed the first one along with MI5. But I think in order, I would say Ghost Protocol is my favorite, then the first one, then 3, then 2, which I really don't like this one. Okay, next up we have The Mummy. I think this is Steven Sommers' best movie. And with all honesty, I've always loved The Mummy. I've always enjoyed this movie immensely. I think it is an incredibly fun action adventure film that I think really combines horror, fantasy, and science fiction very well. And I think that in terms of the special effects back then, it's pretty damn good. I think Rachel Weisz really does an incredible job in this movie. I think it is very fun to watch. Then we have Non-Stop, which is my second favorite Liam Neeson movie, right behind Taken. But I think this one is just so close to Taken. But I think this movie is just an incredibly amazing film. I love this movie, and I love Liam Neeson. I think that he is incredible as an action star, and I think that he's just incredible in like everything and anything he's in. Then we have Oblivion. This movie actually, I really enjoy it. I do think it has some slow, sloppy moments, and I'm not a big fan of the ending. But I do think that this movie has a good performance by Tom Cruise. I have the original Planet of the Apes movie. This is actually one of my favorite films of all time. It is just an incredible movie to watch. It's an immense, immerse, deep. You will literally feast your eyes at every second of this movie. It just sucks you in within the first 10 seconds, and you are just in for an incredible adventure with one of the best twist endings I've ever seen in a movie. And just some of the best action ever choreographed in the 1960s. I mean, it's amazing when you watch this movie and you compare it to action in the 70s. Sometimes scenes in this movie look better than action scenes in the 70s. You're one ugly mother. Predator. This is actually one of the best action movies ever made. It's one of Arnold Schwarzenegger's best performances. It is just an incredible action film that I love. Nolan is back with The Prestige, and I really enjoy this movie. I think it's a very incredible, mind-bending thriller that just keeps you thinking every second, and I think the performances are great. We got Christian Bale, Hugh Jackman, and Scarlett Johansson, so you know it's going to be a beautiful ride. My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die. Princess Bride. Honestly, in my opinion, I think this movie is overrated. But, having said that, it is still a timeless film. I don't think it's as perfect as everyone has told me it is, but I do think that it's a very solid film that I think has a very good premise and a romance story that you can actually care about, which I find surprising because I couldn't care less when it comes to romance. Let's talk about Prometheus. This is a super controversial film. A lot of people hate it. A lot of people love it. It's a movie that you either love it or hate it. I love this movie. I think it is a fantastic adventure. I don't know why people hate it so much because I really think it's a very effective and well-made movie. And it doesn't really have boring or slow parts. It's a very good movie. And I think it really makes you ask a lot of questions. And even though they're not completely answered in this movie, I'm actually kind of happy because they're making a sequel to which we will get some of those answers. It's like we still have questions, but I think that was the entire purpose of the movie, which people didn't really understand. Boxing. Robert De Niro. True story. Raging Bull. Need I say more? One of the best early 80s movies. And just, it's an incredible, powerful movie that just holds up so well today. Alright, next we got Real Steel. And I've already reviewed this movie, so I'll just say quickly. Hugh Jackman, good performance, good movie, kid's great. Okay, next I have Rise of the Planet of the Apes, which is quite possibly my favorite reboot of all time. When I saw this movie, I had no idea that there were any other Planet of the Apes films. I thought this was an original film. So, going into this, there's a part in the movie, and I hate to spoil it for you guys, but there's a part in the movie where Caesar stands and says, "No!" When I watched that scene, I was so amazed. I think that was the most amazing moment I saw in a film in 2011. And I love this movie. I've seen it maybe 20, 25 times. And I think it is a very well-made film. I really enjoy this. And I think it's excellent. RoboCop. I think it's a great movie. And I think that for what it was going to accomplish, it did wonders. I love this movie. Incredibly inspirational. Sylvester Stallone's best performance. One of the best 70s films. Just such an incredible masterpiece of a film. Next one up is Safe House. And I'll admit, I actually like this movie. I really don't think it's as bad as people have said. And I think it's actually a very good thriller. Let me tell you something, my friend. Hope is a dangerous thing. Hope can drive a man insane. The Shawshank Redemption is definitely in my top 10 favorite films of all time. This movie is impossible to beat when it comes to prison films. This is the best prison film ever made, and I think it will stand the test of time. I don't think any prison film can be better than this. This film shows the embodiment of prison life, and it shows the embodiment of hope, promise, faith. This film has everything you could ever possibly want in a prison film, and it is incredible, groundbreaking, exhilarating. The performances in this movie are fantastic. This movie is one of the best films ever made. Leonardo DiCaprio shines again for Shutter Island, and for some reason I have The Aviator, even though I'm really going to talk about Shutter Island. I think The Aviator is a good movie, but I'm talking about Shutter Island. Shutter Island is an incredible film. I've seen it probably 8 or 9 times. I think it's one of Leonardo DiCaprio's best performances, and I think it has one of the best twist endings of all time. It's a very revealing film that just takes a couple viewings to really understand the whole thing, but I really think that when you dive deep into this movie, it is incredible. One of Martin Scorsese's best. Skyfall is my favorite James Bond movie, and it's very surprising because it's the newest one, but I actually think this is the best James Bond film because it shows in the beginning Daniel Craig as somewhat as invincible, but then when it shows him coming back, you see just how vulnerable of a hero he really is, and I think that's one of the best elements in the movie. And I really loved Daniel Craig in this movie. I actually think this is his best James Bond film, along with his best performance as the lead character. Alright, next up I have The Social Network, which is actually my favorite David Fincher movie I've seen so far. I implore you to watch this movie. And you just have to watch it. I am shocked by how well I can rewatch this movie. Seriously, the writer of this movie did something incredible here. Whenever I watch the movie, I start at the beginning, and then I suddenly realize that I'm at 20 minutes, and then I'm at 40 minutes, and I'm at an hour. The writing in this movie keeps it going throughout the entire film. It's 2 hours long, and it feels like it's an hour and 20 minutes. Next up is a childhood favorite of mine, The Sorcerer's Apprentice. And I know what you guys are thinking, why do you own this movie? I really like this movie. I think it's actually a lot of fun. I, with all honesty, just have always liked it, and I loved reading the book. And when I saw the movie, it was so much like the book. I was like, oh, that's fantastic. Let's go to ludicrous speed. Spaceballs. I love this movie. It's actually just a hilarious film. Okay, this is going to be controversial because of the shirt I'm wearing, but I do own both the Star Trek films. I am not really a big fan of this one at all. My parents bought it. But this one, I actually kind of liked it. I did. I don't think it was fantastic, but I thought it was good for what it was going for. I don't have the Star Wars films on Blu-ray, and I know that I've always loved Star Wars, but I do have all of them on DVD. I do. And there's going to be a new Blu-ray collection coming out in a couple months, so I'm definitely going to save up and get those. Alright, now we're getting down to the nitty-gritty. We're almost done with the Blu-rays that I have. Now to go on to my favorite Liam Neeson film, Taken. This film is incredible. You have to watch it. It is an amazing film. I love it, and it has just one of the best simplistic plots of all time. And Liam Neeson in this movie, he makes the most surprising role I think we've seen in the past decade. And sometimes I like this movie so much that I actually sometimes watch Taken 2, which is not that much of a good movie, but I like the first Taken so much that sometimes I just watch Taken 2 for the hell of it. I'll be back. The Terminator. This movie is number 3 in my top 10 favorite movies of all time list, and this film is just amazing in every single way. I love this movie so much. Whenever I watch this movie, I just feel so good watching it. I love it so much. Then comes Terminator 2, Judgment Day, which is my favorite movie of all time, and is my favorite action film of all time. This movie changed me forever. It did. I love this movie so much. It's just my favorite movie of all time. I can't get enough of it. Arnold Schwarzenegger's amazing. James Cameron's amazing. And If you want to know how I got this dent that you're seeing right there, I accidentally hit a baseball bat onto it. Don't ask me how I did it. And I do own Terminator 3. I actually kind of liked it when I first saw it, so I bought it. And I don't hate this movie. It's just nowhere near as good as the first two. The next movie on my list is The Adventures of Tintin. And I like this movie. I don't think it's perfect, but I like it. Another Spielberg film. Peter Jackson was also involved in it. What more can I say? I am a huge Leonardo DiCaprio fan. And I don't know why I love this movie so much, but ever since I was a kid, I would watch this movie a lot, and I just love it. Titanic. This film, to me, may quite possibly be my favorite romance film, and one of the only 3 romance movies that I really enjoy. The other ones being West Side Story and the original Romeo and Juliet. But this film, I love so much. James Cameron directed this. He's brilliant. The vision, everything. I love this movie so much. It's one of my favorites of all time. Next up, I have Top Gun. I'm not the biggest fan of this movie. In fact, it kind of sucks. But it's actually fun. It's fun to watch some scenes. But my dad, he loves this movie so much. And he could watch this movie every day. But it's pretty fun. Now, those are the only Blu-rays that I have in the cases. But I do have some more that I can go over. So I'll just do that right now. Kicking off this, I have the Total Recall remake. And I actually, for some reason, I really like this movie. I just do. I really can't explain it. I just like this movie. I don't think it's as bad as people say, even though it's very unnecessary to have remade the one from 1990 with Schwarzenegger, which I do have on DVD, not on Blu-ray. I really need to upgrade to Blu-ray for a lot of movies. I do have Thor: The Dark World, and even though I'm not a big fan of it, I like Marvel movies, so I got it. And plus, my mom just likes Thor a lot. Unbroken. And I love this movie. Went to see it in January with a very good friend of mine, and she really enjoyed it as well. This film really is so underrated. I don't understand why people have given this such negative reviews and ratings. I think this is definitely one of the most emotional rides I've ever been on. And I think in terms of what Angelina Jolie was able to do and meet the real Louis Zamperini, it's incredible. He was able to actually see the final cut of the film before he died. May he rest in peace. But this is an incredibly amazing true story of a true hero. And I love it. I think it is so impactful and just very inspirational. This is one of the, if not the best movie I've seen of 2015. I just vividly remember seeing this movie, walking out of it just feeling incredible. I didn't know how to describe this movie. I loved it so much. Alright, next up I have another Liam Neeson film, Unknown. I like this movie. I think it's a lot of fun. Liam Neeson, of course, is kicking ass in some scenes, so it's always fun watching him do that. I like this movie. I think it's actually a lot of fun, very intriguing. For the X-Men films, I have X2, X-Men United, which is my favorite, X-Men First Class, and the Wolverine. Those are the only ones I have. Those are the only ones, in my opinion, worth owning. I really don't like the other ones because I'm just not that big of a fan of X-Men, but these 3 movies are pretty good. I enjoyed these 3. Next up, I have West Side Story, and I think next to Titanic, this is another great romance film. I've always been very fond of this movie, even though I think the final act is maybe a bit too long. I think 75% of this movie is perfect, and I think if they made like a subtitle for this movie, it'd be Romeo and Juliet in New York. All right, next up, we have one of my favorite films of all time, The World's End. This is in my top 5 favorite films ever. I love this movie, and I can't get enough of it. I made my first review for this movie, and I know hasn't been a long time, but I feel like I've come a long way since then, and I will always treasure this film. I love it so much, and I hope that you guys will watch my movie reviews, because even though, in my opinion, they're not really that good, I think maybe you guys will find enjoyment in them because of how bad they are. It's probably like it's so bad it's good type deal, but This film is amazing. I love it. Simon Pegg, Nick Frost, Rosamund Pike, Martin Freeman. I mean, everyone in this movie is perfect. The movie's perfect. Okay, we're down to my second to last Blu-ray film. This is World War Z with Brad Pitt, and I really enjoyed this movie. I saw it in 2013 when it came out, and I can't wait for a sequel. I really want them to make a sequel, and I heard that they just started production for it. They're in pre-production right now, and it's going to come out in 2017. Okay, guys, this is my final Blu-ray movie, and it is 42. And this film, along with Captain Phillips, were my two favorite movies of 2013, and both of which I saw them with my father. I had just gotten back from my trip to St. Martin, which is an island in the Caribbean, and when I watched this movie, about halfway through, my dad leaned over and whispered to me, "We're gonna get this on Blu-ray," and I'm thinking to myself, yes, because every second of this movie was like a triumphant moment for me. I love this movie. I love baseball, so I instantly connected this movie, and just the way it was made, I love it. I love this movie, and plus, Harrison Ford's in the movie. Harrison Ford's the man. All right, I'm done, and I thank you guys for watching my Blu-ray collection. I hope you guys had a lot of fun. It took a while to film this and took a while to edit this, but I hope that you guys will enjoy it, and I will definitely be reviewing a lot of these movies soon. I know school's coming up soon, so I gotta try and get as much as I can done before that, but thanks, guys.